Welcome to Unveiling Beauty, the video podcast that focuses on your beauty and self-care. I'm your host, Anna Manukian, and I'm so excited for the conversation today. Today, I have with me Betsy Hamlet. All right, so let me make, this is a very impressive title. So Vice President, Pro Sales, North America. You got all of North America at Olaplex. Welcome. So happy. And of course, Kristen
Thank you.
Brown, thank you so much for being here. You are an industry icon, and I'm like fangirling when I knew that Kristen was going to be joining us today. So this is going to be a really great conversation.
We're new besties, so I get that for sure.
This is good for us.
So you've recently joined the team as an Olaplex ambassador, which is congratulations.
Thank
That's
you
a big
so
deal.
much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So there's been quite a lot of noise. There's been quite a lot of some disruption with Olaplex, right? And we really wanted to have the conversation of what's going on. I know I've been a loyal fan and an Olaplex, fangirl for the last several years, but I really am excited about the conversation of why, what, how, what do we need to know about Olaplex?
Well, thank you, Anna. I think it's really exciting because it is such a really remarkable time with all of the great technologies that are out there. And certainly you see lots of conversation around bonding, like what that is and what that means. And it's really easy, I think, from a client perspective to not really know what that means, just know it's important. And so we're here, I think, today to help guide and clear the air and talk a little bit. But I think the most important thing about Olaplex is that we were first to market with a beautiful new technology called Bisamino. And what Bisamino does is actually link together disulfide bonds. And those are the most plentiful bonds that create the strength in hair. They're easily broken during chemical processes. They're easily broken during a lot of different moments throughout, your day with your hair. And having something that can actually repair it, truly repair it, not patch it, not kind of cover it up, not a Band-Aid, not all the other things, but truly repair it and bring your hair back to strength and health is really important. And it's what we're really passionate about. So that's Olaplex.
So, I like to play the role of I'm definitely a consumer. I'm a salon enthusiast. Yep. I'm a beauty expert. I'm in the beauty space, right? So I kind of like to wear all the hats and talk to me as if I'm strictly a consumer. I don't know the beauty space. As a client going into an Ulta Beauty to even pick up a product of Olaplex or go to the salon to get a professional service, what do I need to know? What are my expectations? What do I even ask?
Yeah, absolutely. I join you in being a beauty enthusiast. I'm not licensed myself. Kristen is the expert from a salon owner and a stylist perspective. So I too am that client that goes in and I ask questions like, how do I get my hair feeling more healthy? How do I get it feeling, as strong as it used to? And I notice that especially if I change hair color, if I go to a different color, I notice that it feels different. There's often a different texture to it. And so I'm really looking for my stylist to help know what to do, to say, you know what, we can really address that. We can address it on its own as a treatment. We can address it while we're doing the service as well.
So if you look across all of us, we each have a very, very different and very specific texture of hair, right? Yeah. So Kristen, from your industry expertise, I'd love to know, how would you, what would be kind of the prescription that you would give each one of us?
I think very much pop quiz. I think it's interesting because when we look at each of us, you can see that clearly. And I think the main thing about Olaplex is the whole hair agnostic, perspective of we all have disulfide bonds. We all can look to that and be like, okay, we have hair in our head. Even for my clients who have beards, I'm like, okay, well, maybe you're bald on top, but how can we address what we do have? And so for me, it's coming back to strengthening, repairing, and making sure that you're walking away with better integrity than what you started with. I want to say clearly, okay, you start with, strong hair, you end with stronger hair, but that's not going to always be the case for everybody. You have damage with manipulation, we have the sun, we have environmental damages and stuff like that. So I would say that the go-to is just starting super simple. Great shampoo, great conditioning, and a little bit of treatment. I think really reminds us to stop, to take the time, to take the care to really invest in your own self-care, which we know has been around for longer than what we think. Self-care was in the 60s, before it became this big thing. So I would say the go-to for the most simple regimen would be the number 4. I would say the number 5. And for my curlies, I would definitely go with the number 8 because it's a great, moisture mask. But number 3, as you can see, that became viral with everything. And that was the one that broke the mold. So I would definitely go for that regimen for everyone's curls, for everyone's waves, their straight hair, their, virgin hair. That has been the recipe that has just been really signature.
So number 3 is good for all 3 of us, essentially. Number
yeah.
3,
Number
if
3
you're not
is-
sure, if I'm going into an Ulta salon
Yeah.
or an Ulta Beauty and I'm like, okay, I don't know anything, I just need to, number 3 is the one that like is completely
Number 3 is
good.
it.
Yeah, okay,
Number 3 is it.
it.
And I would also say, I'm going to say it, number 9 is my jam.
Okay, so tell us why.
Okay, so number 9 is the one that I think people skip over a lot. It's a leave-in antioxidant treatment. So it's tons of antioxidants. It's antioxidant rich. There's red algae in there, which I think a lot of us will catch the wave, in due time. But it's your normal leave-in. So you're going to go ahead and, again, you're going to do your number 4, so your shampoo, your number 5, your conditioner, and then you go right in with the number 9. You can do blowouts with it. You can wear it natural. You can do protective styles. You can do wash and go. It's just extremely versatile as a styler.
Oh, fantastic. Do we have it here?
Yep, it is. It's right up front.
Ooh.
You know, I'm a smeller, I'm a tester, I'm a
Please
toucher.
do. It's a tall one.
Anna, you're going to love it because it's slippery.
Okay, so dry shampoo.
So dry shampoo is amazing. But it has great slip to it. Put it in wet. I've definitely done some dry styling when I have to refresh. Like I almost did that in the green room.
Yeah, I had to tell
she
her.
had to
this
talk
is
me off.
interesting. Okay, so is this, if you guys can see here we go.
Yeah.
If you guys can see, it's got, oh my God, a very
Like that serum.
like serum-y consistency.
Yes.
Yes. Is this something that I would use exclusively on wet hair, damp hair, dry hair? Can I put it on to like finish up my hair? What do we think?
So I've done all because
okay.
I'm a big fan of learning the rules. That way you can break them.
Okay.
So it's great for. I actually do want to see how this is gonna like hold up with your hair right now.
I've
which
got
is
some frizzies.
incredible.
If you guys notice my frizzies at home, this is like a complete selfish touch-up right now because I was just trying to make my hair look better on camera.
But you're a curly girl. Like you
am a
have
curly
naturally
girl.
curly hair. You know what I mean? So I've seen people do blowouts. I know you do
Yeah.
blowouts. There's just been an intense amount of shine that I think is really there. And especially for myself as someone who has curly hair, it's extremely hard
Yeah.
to get shine with curls. So if your hair is straight up to the really tight coils, like this is the secret sauce.
It is. I love that you call this out because this is my favorite as well.
really?
It really is. And here I have, stick straight, baby fine hair.
yeah.
And I find, especially in the winter months or especially in the spring and summer months when that humidity, that transition from like dry and cold to humid, my hair gets fuzzy. That's what happens when you have like baby fine hair. It doesn't get frizzy, it gets fuzzy. And to me, number 9 is like the perfect, it doesn't weigh my hair down, it's light, and it keeps it from getting that fuzz. So that one's a huge hero of mine, but I also love the oil, number 7.
Okay, so your oil. Have you mixed the two?
I do mix the two.
really?
I do.
I'm a big mixer. I'm a big cocktailer. Yeah, because sometimes, the really wonderful thing is all of us want something that's customizable to us, that's going to address our personal needs, right? Versus, and then we can share as well. So I love that. Talk to me about the numbers. Like, is there decoding for the numbers?
The numbers are super simple. It's the order in which they were launched.
Okay, easy
It's
enough.
just kind of a fun thing that the brand did is kind of how they came to market. 4 and 5 are the shampoos, the heroes, but the categories expanded to really address the different needs. So you actually have 4C, which is that clarifying element.
Fave.
I know, it's
Another
great to really incorporate as well into just your kind of ongoing at-home regimen to make sure that you're removing buildup, especially if you live in areas like I do with tons of hard water.
Yeah.
So that one's one. And then the purple, the 4P, 5P. Has that kind of purple pigment that's really great for toning if you've had blonde and lifting.
Okay, perfect. Okay, 4P,
4P, 5P.
4P, 5P. There we go. Okay, that's fun to say, actually.
I know.
Okay, so we're going into the time of year where a lot of us want to go lighter, brighter, which a lot of times, unfortunately, causes a lot of breakage and damage. And I'll speak from my personal experience. Like these ends have seen the thing or two. So if I was to take home, yes, I know the 4 and 5. We talked about the 3. We talked about the 9. But how do I, like, what would be my ultimate way of creating a really healthy hair care regimen going into summer months, knowing that I'm going to be extra dry?
All right, can I start?
Yeah, please.
Okay, the first thing I would say is it starts in the salon. And to go to the Ulta salon and actually start with making sure that that's incorporated into your service and to get a treatment, reparative treatment, really start those summer months with super strong, healthy, beautiful hair. You'll find that your stylist will make a choice and talk with you about whether it's a full reparative treatment or whether it's an additive into your bleach, your color. And it's just about what they see in terms of damage and how best they might incorporate that into your service. And then it's the at-home element. At-home treatment is about making sure that you can continue that bond repair, and that as you have the things happen in life and the thermal damage or the environmental damage, that you're able to still have that protection and protect your investment that you got at the salon.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm also, we know that time is money, especially from, we're all very busy, especially from a client standpoint. Nothing annoys me more than when I go inside and I'm like, I got to be in and out in like an hour. Like I've got an hour and then you're there for like 2 hours, right? So we want to make sure we're planning for that. So if I'm going into an Ulta Beauty salon and I'm requesting a treatment, how long do I think this is going to take me?
Super fast.
I mean, I think that, so the main thing that I really want for people to know with the number 3, and maybe Betsy, you can piggyback off this too, is think about the number 3 as I hold up number 4. Am I okay? It's fine.
This is 3.
This is 3. The number 3, 3 minutes. Simple. So this is something for people to remember at home. I think a lot of time we think of, oh my gosh, my whole day needs to be centered around beauty care. And that's fine if that's something that brings you joy. If it's something that you're like, look, I don't have the time, it takes 3 minutes. So even if I'm doing something like a back bar treatment with my clients with the number 2, which is pro, that's a different story. It's making sure that people are aware that you don't need to have all the time.
I don't need
in the
to have
world.
an extra hour to
Yeah,
tag
you
on to
don't.
something.
You don't.
Fantastic.
It's really, really simple. As long as you're taking that minimum amount of time, you're definitely going to see results. You're going to feel the results. And it empowers both the person behind the chair as well as the person taking home the products. They know that they can do it themselves.
Fantastic. And what would you say, because you're like, oh, that's pro. That's like secret stash over here. That's pro. So what would you say is the main difference between the secret stash of the pro, the like extra concentrated goodness versus what I can take us at home as a client?
Yeah, I actually love that we brought number 1 and number 2, which are the pro services. So it's what clients won't really see because that tends to live behind, the curtain.
Yeah.
What's really great about that is your stylist can incorporate that into your service, into your chemical service. So it doesn't add any time. Or it can be an actual reparative treatment. And so maybe in this first service you have, maybe you're like, I don't have time. I don't have an extra 15 minutes for a full reparative service. Let's schedule that for the next time. And your stylist will be able to work with you on that. And that way you can just have it in additive when you're having your lifting or your color deposit with your color transition and you're good to go.
So there's essentially, I can have it, while I'm processing. So it's no extra time. It's just extra goodness. I can have it as an add-on for some extra love, right?
Definitely.
Can I do both? Can I do as an add-on and as a?
Totally can.
Okay.
You totally can. And it really has to do with the amount of damage and what your stylist sees. But even, everybody has damage, which we were just talking about that the other day, that everybody has damaged hair. It doesn't require I think what everyone knows is like trashed hair. Hair doesn't have to be trashed for you to need.
It doesn't have to be like a melting TikTok video for it to like be fun. The people
What's
that like
happened to my hair?
No.
Right. You don't need that to really see the benefit of having the full reparative treatment.
Yeah,
Yeah. And there's definitely times where I've done just roots on a client. And like in your case where you're like, okay, these ends have seen some days where I'm like, okay, let's do your roots. I've baked in the number 1 into my root formula.
Okay.
And I've ran number 2 through everything else. So that way I'm not losing any time. I'm actually adding even more value to my service. I'm letting the client know, like, even if they had a bad day, I'm like, hey, I'm just doing this for you because you deserve it.
Yeah.
And that makes them just like, you know what I do? I'm going to take home the number 3. It's not as potent, the number 1 and number 2 definitely have that pro hero quality to them. But again, it definitely empowers them to let them know that they can get salon quality hair at the touch of their own fingertips. So yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much. I love, listen, anytime we can get salon quality hair is the best hair. Can we agree on that?
Totally.
100%. 100%.
Betsy, Kristen, thank you so much for sharing so much goodness, for being here, and for just for everything that you do and continue to do to educate the industry, consumers, and all of us that want to learn more about healthy hair with Olaplex. And if you want to try the service for yourself, please know that this is available at an Ulta salon near you. You can click on the caption to schedule. You can click on the caption, there we go, to schedule an appointment or visit an Ulta Beauty store near you. Until next time, stay well, feel beautiful, and be you.